Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days. Welcome to the final Zombies review video. If you've not seen the others, jump back onto the channel. You'll be able to see we've done reviews of the whole Zombies set. I've got the final one for you and I am puzzled. It is The Rock, and the reason that I'm puzzled is because for the first time, for the only time, this has got the same plastic housing as one of the other figures. This one looks exactly the same as the plastic housing for the John Cena figure. This looks like a prison cell or some kind of maximum security cell, and it is exactly the same. All of the previous 7 have been completely different. This is the first and only time they've done one that's the same. Now, obviously, it could be the John Cena that's the same as The Rock. Not necessarily The Rock that's copied John Cena, but I don't understand why they've not managed to find one more kind of design, if you will, for this plastic kind of housing of the figure. It's not the biggest issue in the world, but it's just frustrating, because I was a big fan of the packaging and it's been a big part of the reviews. You see, this is quite a special set. It's maybe the only Zombies series that we'll ever get. They've already announced that the next kind of special series is going to be Mutants. So we might not get another Zombies series, but I do love the packaging. I think the zombies across the top is really cool. The illustration, you can see it a bit better on the back there for The Rock. I think that's really cool as well. There's no real gore on this one. We have seen that in quite a few of them, where, you know, some of the wounds just aren't that impressive. The problem with this series for me is that they're quite expensive. These are like $16.99 in the UK, and normally a basic is $9.99 or $12.99. So they have to, in my eyes, do something to justify the price increase. And yeah, you know, if it's not going to have any accessory, which this figure doesn't appear to have, if it's not going to have much in the way of, you know, gore or exposed flesh or anything along those lines, then I'm kind of left scratching my head as to why I would want to pay that inflated price. Certainly then, if they're going to just use the same packaging, the same housing as one of the previous figures that we've reviewed, the John Cena, it's not brilliant. So, on the back anyway, we've got The Rock, usually known as the People's Champ. The Rock, with his barely visible eyebrow and hunger for flesh, can now be called the People's Chomp. I can see this one's going to be a struggle. We've got John Cena, Triple H, Undertaker, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Paige and Roman Reigns as the other ones in this series. So, we've had a look at the packaging, which is disappointing. So let's get the figure out and we'll have a look, and hopefully the figure will have a few surprises in store for us. Okay, so got the figure out, and there's a couple of surprises with it. First of all, let's talk about the face scan. I think the face scan on this is really strong, and I like it. I like the figure. It's a basic figure, but it's The Rock, you know, one of the most iconic superstars in WWE history. So I do like the face scan. There's a wound on the head, which hopefully you can just pick up. It's, you know, nothing, you know, too severe. Although, well, I say that, you know, there's a good chunk of his scalp that's missing. I'd say a more severe one is the wound that's on his bicep, on his arm there. You can kind of see that there's a big chunk taken out of that, which is pretty cool. On the inside of his arm as well, he's got like quite a nasty chunk kind of taken out. So yeah, the arms definitely have got a bit of detail on. On the other side, you've got the tattoos, his chest tattoo, his arm tattoos, which are pretty cool, but you'd get those on a basic. His trunks just say The Rock, and then it's got the Brahma bull on the back. And you can see really, I suppose, the big surprise It's just down there on the boot. There's a big chunk that's taken out at the back of his leg down there. And so again, you know, there's nothing really too drastic. It's not as if like the whole back, you know, has got all the skin taken off or anything like that. I've got to be honest, I do find with some of these figures, it strikes me as a little bit lazy, like they really could have taken more off. The Triple H figure, for example, like his whole face is missing. That just seems, you know, it's wicked. It's definitely one of the strongest, if not the strongest figure. But then you get something like this that just, it can't compete on that same level. It's really frustrating because they've clearly got the ability to do that, but they've just not gone far enough with some of the figures. For me, this has to be a letdown. There's no accessories. There's not masses of kind of like damage and gore or anything along those lines. I think it's probably better than the Roman Reigns and Paige zombie figures, just because it's probably got a few more points of gore, of detail. You know, when I talk about gore, I talk about detail. I talk about the fact that someone's had to, you know, kind of carve these bits out, make sure they get painted differently. And so I understand that is time and effort, but then if you're going to charge $16.99 for them, you've got to put in the time and the effort, you know, otherwise don't expect me to buy them. I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. As I said, I think it's a bit better than the Paige, a bit better than the Roman Reigns, but it's still not brilliant. Cool, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. I think what I'll do is I'll do a high five video, which will be my top 5 figures of this Zombies series. I think that'll just be a nice way to kind of round it all off and then move on with going back to normal figure reviews. I have enjoyed looking at the zombie series. I hope you've enjoyed watching the videos with me. If you've not seen some of them, any of them, then please, it'd be you know, really cool if you could go back, check some of those out, drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then again, you know, it'd be wicked if you could. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Wrestling Days UK. That's everything from me. Really appreciate you watching, and hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now. Ooh. Ooh. Can you smell what the Rock is rotting? Yeah.